Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Nile, and I got a new laptop, and I decided that since I'm editing videos again, I'm gonna go ahead and put at least one on this channel. The NFL season's coming to a close, and I have been watching and paying some attention, and so I just wanted to quickly recap some of the big moments from this year in the NFL. We'll start with my favorite team. Yes, I know they suck, and I've gone on record as saying that as long as Jerry Jones is in the head office, we're never going to get to the Super Bowl again. But they're still my team. And coming into the season, they made a couple of controversial decisions. They let DeMarco Murray go to free agency, and he ended up going to the Eagles. We brought in Greg Hardy, who's had some off-the-field issues. And we looked poised to possibly at the very least win the division, get to the playoffs with a decent record. And injuries happened. Romo injured, Bryant injured, a lot of injuries and suspensions on the defensive side of the ball, and we sucked all year long, just bottom of the barrel. But at least we had an excuse. The Eagles, well, Chip Kelly made a lot of moves in the offseason. People called him a madman, and he proved them right. The Eagles just weren't doing shit for a lot of the season. So the NFC East ended up being a very wide open division just because everyone sucked so much that nobody was ever eliminated. Also, before we leave that division, I just want to weigh in on the debate because there were some people asking, is Eli Manning no longer elite? Eli Manning was never elite. He's good enough, but he's also lucky enough to have talent around him. Eli Manning did not win 2 Super Bowls. The Giants won 2 Super Bowls with Eli Manning as their quarterback. But they won those Super Bowls because, one, they had an incredible D-line, a Hall of Fame D-line with Strahan, O.C., Tuck, JPP, Kiwanuka. Those guys keeping Brady on his ass, keeping the score low enough that Eli could keep up. Also, a little bit of luck definitely went into it. Eli was never elite. He's a really great quarterback, but he's never been considered elite. He's the best of the rest, not elite. There were a lot of teams that had very impressive seasons. You had a lot of teams starting undefeated, like the Broncos, the Bengals, the Patriots. Most surprising of all, you had the Panthers, who actually made it to 14 games before they had their first loss. A 14-0 start, very impressive. No idea Cam had it in him. He looked like an MVP. A lot of people are saying he's their favorite, with maybe Brady being a close runner-up. I don't think he can go wrong with either of those. I'd rather give it to the young dude Cam. Brady's got enough trophies. He doesn't need more. Falcons started undefeated too. They got off to a 4-0 start with the impressive rookie Devontae Freeman. He came out of nowhere, and they were just dominating for a very short while, and then they fell off completely, and everybody forgot about them. The Bengals, I'll give as much credit to them. They do deserve it, but part of the reason they were able to stay undefeated for so long is because their division kind of just, they got a little weaker this year. Steelers, they struggled through some injuries. Ravens, they just struggled in general. And the Browns, well, they're still the Browns. The Browns, the only reason they're talked about it is because of Johnny Manziel and the controversy that he brings. But to me, other than the fact that he's slightly more controversial, I still see him as just another Brady Quinn. Sure, he's got some talent, but he doesn't have what it takes to survive in the NFL. Broncos had an impressive start, but they were mostly carried by their defense. Peyton Manning was struggling, both because of old age, injuries, and a new system that doesn't really fit his style of play. But they were undefeated for so long, and then Peyton Manning got injured, which was a convenient excuse for them to finally throw Buck Osweiler into the starting lineup, and he played very well, and it honestly doesn't look like Peyton's gonna get his job back, at least from my perspective. Much as I love Peyton Manning, one of the best QBs to ever play in this game, he looks like he's over the hill. Mind and heart are still willing, but the body does not seem to be holding up for you, Peyton. Speaking of old man, did you know Matt Hasselbeck was still playing? I had no idea he was still in the league. I thought he retired 10 years ago. I haven't heard his name in a long time. Andrew Luck has been struggling this season, which is not completely unexpected because we know he has the talent to succeed, but he's on a pretty shitty team, and he doesn't seem like he's a good enough player to really carry an entire organization on his back, at least not yet. And so he's struggled this year. Injuries became an issue. Matt Hasselbeck somehow steps into the starting lineup, and at 40 years old, carried them to an undefeated record for a few games. And the coach, he managed to keep the coach relevant for just a little bit longer. It also helps that they're in a division with the Titans and the Jaguars, who both suck. Moving back to the NFC, you've got the Seahawks proving that the only thing harder than getting to the top is staying there. You've got Bruce Arians proving once again that he's an incredible coach, and the Cardinals proving that last year was not a fluke. Remember just a few short years ago when the 49ers were the class of the division and now they're barely worth mentioning? It's amazing how much can change in just a few seasons. Adrian Peterson returns to the NFL and the Vikings are now relevant again, and they are fighting off Aaron Rodgers and the Packers all season long. It's a great battle between them. The Lions, there was a lot of potential for them. A lot of people expected after last season maybe even they could win the division. They fell off completely, and now suddenly there's a lot of talk about them just getting rid of their best players. Is Stafford gonna be there? Is Cal Megatron gonna be there? Who knows? Anyways, that concludes my wrap-up of the 2015 NFL season. This has been Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle. I hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoyed this season and enjoy the playoffs. And hopefully you like, subscribe, leave some comments, and stick around, because there will be more videos on this channel in 2016. So hopefully if things continue on the current course, next season I'll be able to return to every week being able to talk about the NFL, all the games that are played, covering it on a regular basis with the NFL Weekly. And I would like to cover the playoffs this year. I don't know if I'll be able to, but you're damn sure I'm going to be watching them at the very least. Also, if you plan on sticking around on this channel and you're into basketball, I hope I might be able to start covering the NBA sometime after the Super Bowl. Usually the Super Bowl and the All-Star break happen around the same time. So I don't know if it is this year, but I'm hoping that maybe I can cover the last 2 or 3 months of the NBA season. We'll see. I've got a lot to try and catch up on because I have not paid attention to that at all. There's so much that goes on a nightly basis.